Welcome once again to the Vocal Hub, and this is Singing 101. Yes, you know that. Yes, you know that. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe through the button below, and don't forget to like and comment. So today, what are we talking about? We're going to be talking about how to improve your vocal timbre. So, what is vocal timbre? How can we describe or define the vocal timbre? The vocal timbre can be defined as the quality of your tone or your tone color. So, just like the musical instruments have their own tone quality, that's the same way for human. When you play a trumpet rather, and a violin in an orchestra, they sound differently when they play the same note. Even though they are playing the same note, they sound differently. So that is the same way it is for the human voice. So for the human voice, the voice is categorized under different types. So for the female voice, we have the soprano. Under the soprano, we have the lyrical soprano, we have the coloratura soprano, we have the dramatic soprano. That's for people who are into classical singing. So we also have the mezzo soprano. I can categorize my own singing voice as a mezzo soprano. The mezzo soprano are the type of sopranos that can go as low as the alto range and still go as high as the soprano, but not as high as the lyrical sopranos. Yes, so the female voice is categorized there. Then the lower female voice is the alto. The alto, yes, is the lower female voice. They can't go as high as the sopranos, but it's still the same female voice. Why? Because their ranges is lower. The range for alto is lower than that of the soprano, and they have different tone qualities. So for the male voice, we have the tenor, we have the baritone, and we have the bass. What differentiates these voices is the quality of each of these tones, is the sound, the way they sound. In the strings, in the orchestra, the strings family, we have the violin, which is the lightest. We have the viola. We have the cello. Cello is darker in sound. Then we have the double bass, which is the thickest. It sounds really deep. So you cannot compare, just because they are all strings, you cannot compare the double bass and the violin, even when they play the same notes. Even when they play the same notes, the quality of the instruments, the timbre is different. So that is the way it is for the voices. So how do you improve, these voices? How do you improve your tone? You improve your tone because you sometimes God has given you the beautiful voice from heaven. You have it, but you still need to improve them just to make them sound, better and more, make it sound more interesting. So for the sopranos especially tend to sound childlike. They tend to sound like babies. If they have not really worked on the voices. So we need to let them know that, especially if you're just coming an upcoming singer and your voice is still in its baby stage, there are ways to improve your tone so you sound richer, your voice sounds purer. So, how do we categorize? Sometimes we categorize voices into, we say some voices is mild, some is silky, some is husky. You might have heard that once in some places. So everybody, even as soprano singers, you can have that person who sounds husky and that person who sounds mild. For tenor singers, you can have people who sound husky. An example of someone who sounds husky as a man is Michael Bolton. Yes, Michael Bolton, his voice is husky, but is not his voice can be categorized under the bass or the baritone, but it's husky. So, and we can also have some other people's voices are as pure as honey. It's really, really mild. It goes really smooth, as if, yeah. So, how do you improve it? How do you need to understand that your voice is unique, first of all, and you can never sound like anybody. So, but you need to, first of all, go for singing classes. When you go for singing classes, your vocal coach is going to help you become better because there are some certain techniques your vocal coach is going to help you. When they help you with these techniques, it helps you, um, improve your vocal timbre. Yes. So also we need you need to exercise your voice daily. You need to exercise your voice daily. There are range extension exercises. When you do them, your voice is expands. Your voice expands, and you become stronger with the range extension exercises. So my own tip I'm going to give you today is that there are ways you position your vocal tract that improves your vocal timbre. So let me give you an example. I'm going to sing in a way, and I'm going to sing in a way. So you're going to see it. There's a difference between the two. So I will sing Amazing Grace. How you sing Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. It's not the same way you position your vocal tract when you sing Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. And it's different from when you sound Amazing Grace, how sweet. What's different between the first one, the second one, and the third one is that the first one, I actually positioned my vocal tract to use the bel canto singing voice, which is actually called the beautiful singing, and it's very mild. It's the kind of singing that you use when you want to sing in classical or opera. But the second one is I sang the same song, which I utilized my mixed register the more, and I opened up my vocal tract the more. And I sounded the way I would use to sing for contemporary singing. But the third one is the nasal singing. Okay, I actually used my nasal. And what actually made the difference between the sounds? Actually, after all, they're coming from the same mouth, right? Right? Is the way I positioned my vocal tract. So if you want to change your tone color, your tone quality, it's just all surrounded. It's surrounded by how you position your vocal tract, which is your mouth, your jaw, your tongue, your soft palate. How you position them matters a lot. So, and it depends on what you want to sound like. As a singer, you should be able to change your tone color to whatever you want to sound like. You can decide to sound really hush and soft and smooth, and you can decide to sound really loud and bright and all over the place. So, what are those factors that affect it? Is the positioning of your vocal tract, positioning of your lip. You can decide to put your lips in such a sluggish way, lazy way, and it's going to affect your singing. But for upcoming singers that are not really used to singing yet and they're just trying to grow in their singing career, I'm going to make it easy. I'm trying to make it easy for you right now to tell you that you should sing by opening up your vocals, especially your throat, your mouth, drop your jaw a little. It gives you a beautiful tone. So if you're going to sing Amazing Grace, you have to drop your jaw to sound fuller and richer. Amazing Grace. Can you see the difference? Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound. And amazing grace, how sweet the sound. So how you position it really matters a lot. So it all goes round your positioning of your vocal tract. They do so much work in the kind of tone quality you produce. So I hope this lesson, someone has learned something from this singing tips today, and I'm really looking forward to see your comments if you have learned something. I know you've learned something. So I need to know if you have any questions you want to ask me. I'm willing and ready to help you. So see you in the next class and in the next video. Have a good day ahead. Bye.